friendship, Philly road collapse, and my Trump-loving neighbors are at it again. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do.
God, that was so juicy.
I lost my mind. Hello,
I
Amy.
love it. You should let your mind out more often. Hello, Melissa.
I should not let my mind out more often. What? You're crazy.
How else can mind get lost? Hola, hola, konnichiwa. Fucka, what's up, bitch?
None of those languages are native to you. So I am awfully curious at why you chose those. Hello, good morning. What's up, girl?
Here's my favorite part of not speaking any Españolis.
Yes.
While I was in Costa Rica. I would try. I always try. I'm a trier. I would always try, and I would get so excited when I would sort of get it right, and even more excited when I got it wrong. And I started saying bingo because people would understand it when you say bingo, right? They're like, bah, you get a response.
That's fair.
So now, whenever I'm talking to my children, I just string together the only Spanish words I know, and I include bingo as if it's a Spanish word because it kind of sounds Spanish. And they're like, that's not Spanish. So now they get mad because I'll say, ocho, mucho, macho, stupido, bingo. Like I'll just list them all out.
I love that you do that. So first of all, don't listen to your children. What? Is this the first time we've come to this conclusion? Listen.
I don't follow all the rules all the time. I'm a selective rule follower.
Any of the time?
Because the ones I follow, I adhere to mightily. And I punish others for their lack of compliance. And yet, I also selectively choose the rules I wish to follow. So it's so fun. It's a surprise being me all the time. You never know.
It is also equally joyful being in rotation around you while you are being you and choosing when to adhere to what rules. I enjoy that as well. Dear listeners, we are once again separated by hundreds and hundreds of miles. Spending time at the Jersey Shore, and Amy back from her worldwide travels. I guess prior to her next worldwide travel, right? You're hitting the road again.
Tomorrow should be South Carolina, but I got out of it. My son goes for 4 days to some sleepaway camp, and it's only an hour away from a good friend. So I was going to go and camp out, Shay good friend, and do a little bit of work, a lot of bit of fun, and it wasn't in the cards for my work schedule. I have too much. So I'm pawning him off on another family. And then next week, I think it's DC, or that maybe have shifted.
Where
and especially
can we dump the children?
Where can we dump the kids? Where can we dump the fucking kids? And then it's Jersey, and then it's Maryland, and then it's somewhere else, and then eventually in there's LA, and then there really is a real one in South Carolina, and then it's Prague, and then it's someplace else. I don't look ahead too far because I never know where I am. It's crazy.
Your
it's
summer,
like I'm on tour.
Yeah, your summer is the busier part of your year. I wonder what you're going to be like with your empty nest and only your time.
Wait. I can't wait. I keep going to all these graduation parties, and people are boo-hooing, and they're just getting all verklempt and looking at each other like, oh, it's the end of an era. And I swear at every single one, I'm like, I can't wait. I got a freshman still. I can't wait.
You keep
to
hitting
get that kid gone.
You keep hitting the imaginary skip button, and nothing's happening.
Oh my God! I even said to his face last night, brother, I got three more years of this shit, and you're out the door.
I just want to see his face when you look at him and say,
He says, thanks a lot. It's real loving, Mom.
Brother,
Super love.
I am fucking done with this shit.
Oh, God.
2 down, 1 to go for you. 2 down, 1 to go.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So as I said, I'm here at the Jersey Shore, and I find being here in, summer Missy, like I'm finding the people really, I should have been a sociology major and a sociologist because I really do get a lot out of and enjoyment and out of really studying people, right? People.
People.
Not befriending them, hiding from them, maybe. Not
No personal interaction, just
No.
judging from afar.
from a distance. Bette Midler sang about it for me in Beaches. From a distance, we can then be friends. So
Nice.
I have a question for you. I find down here it's like mostly Italians and Jews, right? So these are
Yeah,
our
yeah,
people.
yeah.
These are
This is our place.
we have the food and family, right? Those are the centers of our lives, and we can completely relate as if we came from the same womb.
Agree.
Super. Amy, it's not the
Ma'am.
Jews who are doing this, so I need your help.
Uh-oh.
Why,
Okay.
oh why, do people here at the shore sweep their front step and hose it down all day long? Please? The sidewalk in front of their house, the porch, the stairs, the sidewalk, some into the street. What the fuck makes you decide it's time to take out the hoses and clean off the sidewalk?
'Cause you're not a pig? What do you mean?
I'm not
Were
talking
you
about
offended by that?
I'm not talking about something inside your house. I want to know what makes every morning it's time to wake up.
No. You've just landed on it. The sidewalk is inside your house.
No, it's not.
That's my sidewalk. Get the fuck off it. And I keep it clean like I keep. You think I'm kidding? That is my sidewalk. That is mine. That pavement in the street, the tar part where the cars go, sometimes we sweep that. Sometimes we sweep that if it gets a little funky murky. Because guess what? That's mine too. This is my house. This is what I got. Fuck you, city. I bought it. It's for me. You sold it. Fuck off. It's mine. Get off.
So are you saying?
And I am going to give you a lot of looking if you want to come walking across my sidewalk, first of all. And you better fix your fucking dog. I have yelled at so many people whose dogs want to poop in the median part. Because it's like, what are you doing? Take that shit to your own yard. Get out. No, that's mine. That's mine. That's 100% mine.
You are the one
Mine.
friend I will not find a house for down here. I'm searching
I'm
for
just
everybody.
saying.
Nope.
You know how expensive it is to live over there?
I have a clue.
I bought every piece. I bought every piece of it. That concrete is mine. That's for me.
So every morning,
Yes.
you guys know we have 3 large dogs. So every morning, and no property down here. So every morning we wake up, let the dogs out in the tiny parcel backyard for everybody to get their first pee out. Some of them poop. So then we leash up one dog and we walk for a mile plus, just a little. And then we come back, we leash up the second dog. We take that dog. People must think we are crazy. Didn't they just walk?
I do too.
That's a different dog. What? How? I have seen people walk multiple dogs. We don't have those kind of dogs that you can take several on a trip.
Do
So
you though? Do you not though? Can't you let them try to level up? I mean, one time.
level up. I have watched
One time.
one dog shitting on a coupler with another dog to his right, and the other dog starts walking away tied to that dog while he's shitting. I mean, that's sacred. You want to poop? You can poop in peace on your own. Everybody
is
gets
sacred.
a special walk. While
Okay,
walking,
that's fine. That's a different thing then. That's a different thing. That's not a statement about your dogs. That's a statement about your love for your dogs. That's a very different thing.
right? And if it's
'Cause they can
just
do
for
it. They'll surprise you.
exercise, if it were just for exercise, I would take all 3 and we would just walk. But when they have to sniff and pee and poop and to get the daily news from the shrubs around them, you can get your own time. Okay, out this morning, I saw a woman with not just a broom, but a broom and a dustpan.
Yeah, of course.
No, you do not, of course, a dustpan.
What did you do on Long Island, first of all? What did you
I
do
grew up.
on Long Island? Was it not a city? I don't understand what you're saying. My grandmother
Yes.
lived with who I called my grandfather. I mean, I called him Uncle Joe. He was literally my great Uncle Joe, my grandmother's brother. But he, for all intents and
Yeah.
purposes, was my grandfather, right?
Oh.
That figure, that role, that everything. That's how he behaved because that was the presence and whatever. And in every single visit, he would sweep the alley next to their house. He would sweep it and get it. That's just part of what the shit he did. He would sweep the alley. He would sweep the stoop. He would sweep off the front, not so much the front sidewalk, mostly the alley, right? But because that's what people were coming through to get down to the back. Yeah, it's yours. It's your property. It's not technically your property, but at the same time, it's fucking my property. Get off. Yes, with a dustpan. You didn't see anyone
Absolutely
ever
not.
sweeping anything
Absolutely
in the
not.
city.
Never in my life.
If you're in the suburbs and you're hosing shit off, that's just because you're lazy and I don't know what the hell you're doing. Because it's not. It doesn't. I don't know why I just said that. Like houses and concrete ownership is different in the suburbs. But the difference is, I mean, when you're in the city, this is what you do because it's yours and there's not very much space. And this is my space and I keep my area clean. That's how it is.
So you consider this island that we're planted on right now part of the city? This is, I mean, all right. When you say your porch.
The name of the place where you are is called Atlantic City, no?
Well,
I mean, it was based on the Monopoly part where they're all little. Anyway,
that's really funny.
I think you have people from the city who go to that beach. So I think of them as city people just on vacation.
Okay. I mind less in cities because I used to live in Manhattan and all the grocers and everybody would hose off there in front of their shops, which I kind of appreciated. Here, I feel it's different. I get it if you're sweeping off your porch because your porch has like the chips from the kids and you don't want the bugs or you don't. Hosing down your sidewalk and your drive every day seems like an act of a crazy person. Standing there with a dustpan while you're outside and you could just sweep shit into the streets. By the way, I do see street sweepers go by weekly, which is lovely. Well, I don't get, I've never hosed off my driveway unless it was my daughter who painted jeans for senior year and then we had to get shit off. But what?
Well, in fairness, hosing is a little bit luxurious because you're using more resources. But sweeping is just a habit. It's a daily fucking habit. This is what you do. You sweep it and you keep it clean.
And your answer is because it's mine and I'm going to.
I don't know that there's any other
tight?
answer. You sweep it because this is. I don't know. Why do you keep your car nice? Would you park in a shady, meaning a shitty part of town where your car's going to get jacked, or would you be thoughtful about where you parked? I don't know that my family claimed ownership of the alley and the sidewalk, but I can tell you they swept it a lot. And it was a daily occurrence to sweep the alley, to keep it clean. And I just think it had proximity to where we are and who we are. And that it doesn't even seem weird. Now, if I noticed neighbors here in sprawling suburbia where I live now doing any of that sweeping, I would think, number one, maybe they have new concrete because there's a period when you first put it down.
There's pride.
That you keep it. No, there's a period when you first put it down that it helps it cure better, that if you spray it with water once a day but it doesn't sound like that's what this is. This just sounds like a city habit. And also, if you have little fucking dirty kids and dogs and wheels and beach shit and dropped ice cream cone and ants and bees and iguanas and who knows what the fuck, bats, everybody's coming in front of your house. I mean, you don't want to be there anyway. If you're already at the beach and you don't want anyone else at your beach, this is one more way of staking dominion and claim over these interlopers who are enjoying the sands that God rightly put there for just you. So being out there with your dustpan and brush is one more way to say, I'm keeping this ball and going home. Right? Get off my fucking lawn.
Dear listener, is this weird? Is it just me? I don't think I've seen it in the city, but out here to sweep dirt into dirt, like what are you doing? It just seems like futile.
These seem like clean, nice, territorial people.
Well, you'll be
That's
the
who
judge
they
of
seem
that
like.
when you take the walks when you come here in 2 weeks.
I think it has to do with, it's a habit, but it's also, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing when you're rubbing your ass on my deck clothes. Get out.
Obvious problems. I think this is obviously a problem, but waste of water, waste of resources, waste of time. But it seems you've been watching an obvious problem. What is that?
It's been so many, many, many weeks, months, probably into the years of watching this happen. So a former coworker of mine, he ran all of the mail. He was the mail dude. So, and he did other things as well, but he was in an administrative capacity. We never worked directly together, but you know him because you see him every day, right? Okay. So I've gone on to 90 jobs since then, and so has he. Well, for whatever reason, remaining close on Facebook, and for whatever reason, he has transitioned to female, but then not really. So he transitioned to female and then transitioned back. And it was of note because he did it at the job where we used to work. It was after I left, but so everybody sort of came out and befriended him even more to say, we support you. This is great.
You actually talked about it on Pod.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. Love it.
So
I didn't know
he
that
has now,
he went back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he has now gone back twice. And it's the kind of thing where the first time he went back, he threw out all of his stuff. He threw out wigs. He threw out clothes. It was like a burning cathartic, like, I'm not doing this. I don't know what I was doing. I'm not doing this. And now you don't know how to support this person because you're like, well, shit, I was really supportive. And now I feel like you want me to think that was a mistake.
Therapy. Therapy is how you
support. Which I kind of don't. So it's been a winding road. And now, then there was a transition back to being female, and that appears to now, and it all has to do, I think, with dating and lack of acceptance. So here's what I'm getting at. I'll call this person K, because that works for both the names that were selected. All right. K right now is living as a man and vocalizing on Facebook for anyone who will hear it how sad and sorry and dejected and problematic and stupid K is. Instead of saying, I'm troubled, I need some help. So friends will come out of the woodwork. Acquaintances will come out of the woodwork and say, here's a book. Here's an organization. Here's a group.
Support.
Here's some clothes.
Yes.
Here's a this. Here's a that. And Kay will invariably find some way for it not to work. I'm too scared to go to that group meeting because I don't like crowds. Okay, but you worked in an office with 200 people and delivered our mail every day. So as both genders. So you've gotten over, I mean, I get that it's different because we're all associate. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is Kay almost appears to have fallen in love with I can't do it. I can't have what I want. I can't be happy. I mean, posting hand-drawn pictures, all the stories are about, I'm so stupid, here I lie dead. Pictures of a gravesite with my dreams written on the headstone. I mean, just really stuff on Facebook that you think, this is breaking my heart. And it also makes me really mad. So, because we're giving you all the solutions that you need, and you are working harder to come up with reasons not to take a step forward than you are to, and I know it takes bravery. I know it's trauma. I know it's incredibly hard. I know I don't know shit about fuck in this specific situation. So I super get that. And it's really challenging to find a lane, to be supportive, to point out, this seems like troubling behavior to me. I see you need help. Can we go to lunch? Like, all these fucking things are happening. And it's like, no. Okay. So then Kay posts a picture of Kay's mom, who has passed away. He says, I really miss you right now. And I thought, that's my chance. That's my chance. Because I was starting to get so mad, thinking like,
right, you're watching it unfold.
I know exactly what you need. You won't fucking do it. And then it occurs to me, you know what? That's everybody in the world who's ever met me and all of my bullshit that I spew out of my... Stop looking at me like that's I hit the nail on the head. Don't tilt your head at me. Don't bite your lip at me. That's not fair. I didn't want this to come back around to me, and it did. Fuck. So the whole time I was like, all right, I got to find some compassion because Kay is every fucking single one of us. Kay is just super obvious about it. Makes me enraged because it's as if the answer is right here. The key to this puzzle is right here. And everyone is pointing giant arrows on the pirate map. Look, here's the treasure.
And Kay's looking around the X that marks the
I
spot.
won't look there.
Right.
I won't look there. You've told me where it is, but I will not look there. That's the difference.
Can you relate?
So in any event,
can you relate to anything? Like, is there everybody thinks and shares and tells, and there's a step that you just can't take?
On the one hand, the thing that I would really relate to is if it were, we have the solution, it's right here. Why won't you do the solution? And the answer is, it's too hard. It's too scary. I don't want to. I relate to all of that. I think denial is an easier form of suffering because you're blind to it because you worked up your denial. It's not great to be in denial, but at least you're happy. So I don't know.
Right, because you fooled yourself at that point,
yes!
and you're not fooling anyone otherwise.
Yeah, and it feels like attention-seeking behavior for the wrong thing. Like we are longing to give you
support,
attention in direction of your
anything,
wish fulfillment.
Right, of any direction. Pick a fucking direction, and I will support the shit out of you as you go there.
Yes. So I am that person, and I also know that I've been floundering for 3 years. So many things came to a close, and whatever is blossoming hasn't fully opened in a way that I see the path. I'm sort of walking on multiple paths at the same time. I don't really know. And I'm just trusting that I don't need to know. I'm just going to keep walking forward and I'll find something. That's all a lot of blah, blah, hot air talk for everybody around me says, why aren't you doing this exact thing that we want from you? This is what we want from you. Why won't you do it?
Stop being so vague. Everybody wants you to sing. You should be singing. Like, stop
You're so
tickling
funny.
the
That's
tushy.
not actually,
but
you're so hilarious because I just went to all these graduation parties and people would pull me to the side and say, when can I come to your cooking show? I want to come cook
No.
with you. I do all your social stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So it's so funny. There's too many things, right? There's too many things.
Oh, that must be really hard for
It's
you
so-
being
oh.
so good at so many things. Poor Amy. Dear listener.
No. I throw up a lot of shit screens. That's all
If
it is.
you have the desire to punch Amy in the face for being so talented as much as I do right
Write
now
us.
and not sharing any of those talents with the world or using them enough, feel free to write us at brilliantobservations@gmail.com. Go to our socials if you'd like to shame the fuck out of her there. You can do it at Brillob Squad, which is a subgroup on Facebook from Brilliant Observations. You should go there and you should absolutely join, or just go to Listen Brilliant on Twitter or Instagram. I met some women off of my deck recently, yesterday, very
Wow.
recently, who
Were they sweeping their porch?
they are not porch sweepers. She's, I think, from New Jersey, or I don't know. Let me tell you. Oh, that's the difference. She's the Jewish side of the street, which we don't do that. We don't do that. Outside, we'll keep cleaner. Inside, we'll keep cleaner. Outside, birds shit there, and I don't sweep or hose.
That's why you hose?
I guess that's true. So this woman I met through a neighbor, she was visiting a neighbor. I learned so many things. I will be discussing a new podcast with you. We will be talking about, my next door neighbor is a divorce attorney.
Uh-oh.
And sitting on her deck with her were these women, these incredible, like all Green's Burrito's wife, like all of them, right?
That's code for the most stunning human you've ever encountered, sparkly from the soul all the way out to the most beautiful.
To the point where I could feel the sparkle, the deck over from them.
Right.
And they are
right, for real. They exist.
And they are all on their second, third, fourth husbands, and their stories are what needs a podcast. And what better person to do that than a divorce attorney? Like, she's got all the stories. So
I thought you meant you. So we could be super judgy about the husbands. That's where my
well,
brain
my
went.
husband heard this conversation starting, and he slowly backed away. He said, "I am not going to be part of the she-man, woman, man-hater club of no." That wasn't about to happen. So
everybody loves to have hateful conversations. Everybody loves.
So
it.
I made
They
a new
do.
friend yesterday, but I want to talk to you about what I call best friends. People you can trust. When you make a new friend, you went to a party when you don't know if they are the friends forever. These lovely women on the deck yesterday are lovely, but are they ones who, and this happened this weekend, are they ones who will say to you, go use that porta potty. I see urgency on your face. I will guard it for you and never speak of it again.
Well, that's a 5-level click up. That's what happens. That's a really, really, really positive green flag.
Right? And I don't see green flags. I only see red flags. I'm trained.
Right.
I'm trained to only see them.
You're the best.
They are the best.
That's why I love you.
Which is why, even my closest friends like you would say, no, yeah, go ahead, use that. And then you'd be like, there's a hot bitch in the porta potty if anybody wants to see a hot pot. Like, you would.
Did you say open the door? Yeah.
I
Will do.
misunderstood you. I thought you said to open that.
Is your camera ready?
I got to tell you, when you find your people, man, dig your nails in deep. They are your people. And I hope that you do. And I hope you take them to Costa Rica with you and you travel and they hold your hair when you vomit. And
well, part of it is that leap of faith, which can be really scary. I have been burned twice in my entire life. And I'm an old ass broad. So that's so small a percentage of burns by sharing and feeling what I thought was going to be a really
forever.
bigger than temporary commitment
Yeah.
with this person. And twice I was like, oh, it was misplaced with you. Oh, this is misplaced with you. Only twice. Only twice. All other times.
Pretty good record, though.
It is a pretty good record. So take a leap, right? Just take a leap. And if it doesn't work out, go into the porta potty and lock it until they leave, and then you'll be safe and fine. It's all going to work out.
I think I would have
for you.
shit my pants before doing that. I would have.
Holy cow. Holy cow. Did you poop in the porta potty?
I used a porta potty. Does it matter what happened inside? What happens inside stays inside.
I won't use them. I feel like I've used them like, I'm sure 3 times. I was going to say 2. We'll call it 5 times in my whole life, and I doubt that's even accurate. I won't go in. I'd rather just hold it. I'd rather shit in the street. I'm not going in a porta potty.
That was the best scene in Bridesmaid. If we're being honest, I don't think people go into porta potties because they want to and have the ability to say, I won't use them.
I'm laughing because it's true. I really would rather shit in the
Didn't
street.
you see
than
a
go in
guy
porta potty.
shitting in the street and then say, how did that happen?
Yes. Yes.
Now we
More
know.
than once. More than once.
On the
More than
highway.
once.
You just talked
Yes.
about that.
Yep. He sure did. Ass akimbo. Drop the pants down. You could see everything. The poop coming out of the back. Oh, you all visible for God and everybody. Let's go.
Yeah, I can't be that person. I
lot.
can't be
That's a
that
lot.
person. Not in these
I don't need
days of
that.
everything's on camera and video.
Yeah, not in this economy. I agree. No thanks.
That's what my daughter says. Not in this economy. Do you want peppers and cucumbers with your sour cream and onion? Not in this economy, Mom. I'm like, wait, what? What are you talking
I love
about?
her.
You're adorable, but
How long do you have her? When does she go back? Is she back in your home and in your summer
she's
home?
in my
How does this work? Catch me up.
marsupial pouch right now. She couldn't be closer. Let's see. I have her till the second week in August when I take her to Cabo San Lucas for a week.
Oh,
we return home.
Ring a ding a
and
bingo.
then
I love it.
Drop her off in Newark, Delaware to go back to the grind.
Wah, wah.
Right. We'll see.
I get it. So good long summer. Good
It'll
for you.
it'll be nice. I got 2 solid months with her and beach, and I didn't realize how tiny bikinis have become.
I don't know how mothers do it because I don't. I get alarmed. I get alarmed at all that flesh. I mean, even if I'm a stranger, I'm thinking, how are you just walking around? It seems like you're totally naked. What you doing?
And some of those parts of you have never seen sun, and they're going to get really hurt. I said, is that under boob? And I said, I know side boob, but is that under inside boob? And the answer was yes. And I said, please use sunblock.
Oh, we're doing the David Lee Roth peekaboob, are we? Down at the bottom.
Please use sunblock is all I want. First of all, she's gorgeous. So I have trouble, I don't want to shame or make you feel self-conscious. You're stunning.
Yeah.
Cover it up,
but
bitch.
Kinda.
Your father's going to have a heart attack.
Yeah, but kind of. It's okay. It's kind of. I don't know how I know how I feel about it, but I don't like to admit it, is the truth. Because that's just a lot of baby flesh. I feel like when you're under, pick a number, 20, right? When you're still literally a teen, you're still a child. So even if your body has other ideas, just put on a big shirt. Just sit under the thing. Just wait. You can slut it out later. And it's not even being slutty in a bad way. You can own your sexuality later. For now, let's have some ice cream and play Yahtzee.
She likes ice cream too. You know, all of these kids are in a race to grow up, right? You know that.
No.
You see what they do, the drugs they're trying. They're all. Some of them I think are in a race to die, but some of them are just in a race to grow up. And I don't know how to better advise other than to say, just take your time and enjoy where you are. Please enjoy where you are.
The only thing that has worked for us and stuck with our kids, if it has, and their friends, is this notion that it doesn't get easier. So everything that feels like a privilege, that feels like a treat, that feels expansive and easy, that goes away. And it goes away year by year by year. So don't wish away your teens with, I got to get a job, I got to get a job. You have plenty of money and you have access to everything you need. Spend this time with your thumb up your nose, laying around like an idiot because you're going to be wishing for it in 2 short years. And I think part of it is they also have the eyes to look ahead a year or two to brothers, sisters, cousins, friends, high school acquaintances, teammates who are pulling their hair out and God bless them, dying 12 kids have died at my son's school this academic year. 12. 12. 4 in one department. Thank God that he's not in. It's too many. Engineering. They're a top engineering school. And the kids just, it's too much. It's too much pressure. So all of this by way of saying, we don't even know how much time we have. Waste it now. You're not going to get the chance to waste it later. You really need to be more industrious with your time wasting. I think that should be your focus.
Industrious time wasting. Got it. Write that down in the notes section of your phone.
I love
What
it.
year is your phone?
I don't know. I'm
what
sure
number
it's
is
very
it?
new.
I know you have an iPhone. Is it a 13, 14? Is it the new one yet? Is it?
Was there a new one in the past month?
Yeah, 14.
Brand new, like in the past month?
I think so. Month-ish. A couple of months. Month. 14's new. It's the new one.
I might have the totally brand newest new one. They're always, my husband
Swaps it
does
out
them
for
all.
you. Yeah.
He orders the latest new one, and when it's available for pre-order, they ship it. So I'm not trying to highfalutin myself. It's a ridiculously nice. I always have to take pictures with my phone. Everybody says, "Ooh, use that one." So it's very nice. So it's a nonsense, overpriced piece of technology that I use for a free app to waste my time.
No, but you use it
and
for
make
everything.
phone calls.
You do.
Yeah. Well, I do. I was on it today.
If you ever
What?
get the opportunity, dear listener, to sit next to Amy, put her phone off of vibrate onto sound, and then just, lay down and listen to the white
It's a
noise of
problem.
ping, pa, pa, ping, 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 bing,
It's a
ba-da-da, ding,
problem.
ding, ding, pa, pa, ping, ding, ding, ding.
It is too much access, and everybody wants it and wants me all the time.
We had company here this weekend, and he has an 8. I'm like, an 8? And
What's that?
The
Ocho.
His phone
Yeah.
is an iPhone 8.
Does it fold in half? Like, how old is that?
They're folding in half again
Does
now.
it have
You have to
actual
be
number
careful.
buttons? Like actual rubberized number buttons that you press
Is
in?
Centipede
like
the
a
only game
typewriter?
he could play on there? To get an A, do you have to hit 3 twice or?
Do you know what? I have such mad respect for this old shit. Like, I would love to have my old Samsung or Nokia or whatever
have
the
them all.
old ass Ericsson,
Motorola,
whatever the old
yeah.
fucker was, the
Razor.
Motorola.
Remember my Razor?
The Motorola. And that one was so good because it would flip in
Yeah.
half and then it would fit up against your face.
But you
and
had
it
to
was nice and
click a,
thin
click a,
and it
click a,
fit
click
in
a,
your
click a.
pockets.
This is what it sounded
I
like to
loved it.
send a text. Click a, 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 click. Hi. That's all it said was hi. And you could only play Centipede because that's the only graphic that you could get. It was, that was great. On ours, we share contacts and we also share calendars. Do you do that on
That's
your phone?
a fight. We do to the degree that we want to remain married. Can't share contacts. No way. Calendars, we have negotiated a mutual, what do you call it? We went through mediation for our calendars so that can work. We have 2 shared calendars, and then the rest are fed to us through all the associations and leagues and universities and whatever else.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have my calendar which has, to be fair, probably 19 individual separate calendars, but I like it to be pretty. So I do each one and it has a different name, and they're all positive names. Like one is Amy is amazing, things that have to do with this show, or Amy is brilliant. There are things Amy's the snack, Amy's the total package,
I love it.
Amy's habits save the day, like all these kinds of things. And then the one that I share with my husband only is called Because I Love to Communicate. And that's really for him to actually put
Share
stuff
things
on the
with
calendar
you,
so I can see it. And then the other one is called Family. And that goes to everybody. And no one else reads it. So really it's the same as Because I
it's
Love
the
to
same one,
Communicate.
right?
It's just a different color. So yes, that's how. But if we tried to share contacts, no, he does this horse shit where they're alphabetized wrong and they're stupid and I don't like it. And of course, my contacts, I have like 19 different contacts for the same person because they're all different and they mean something to me. And it's not a great system, but I don't want to change it. So there you have it. I did look at my phone badge
you have
today.
a problem, but is this not?
Listen, I don't go on Facebook and say, here's a picture of me in a cemetery because I refuse to update my 46,000 email messages from my phone. That's a different level of problem. I don't self-identify as this is a weighty problem that affects every aspect of my life that I am powerless to fix because I refuse to receive the power that is gifted to me from other people. I sent Kay a book. Sent him a book from the author, a specific book. Says, okay, I will get to this next month. Good, thanks. Good job. This life
They're not in a
affirming-
headspace to deal with it at all.
It's so that back to the sharing of contacts. That is not. I have so many problems. I feel like that one is very. If you're going to judge me, you're not going to get a lot of traction.
I would
Go
never
higher up on
judge
the
you.
list.
Let's start there. And
start there.
I will.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not ending there. I will finish with telling you that my husband created a network of all of these physicians, and in his job, he needs their cell phones because he needs to get in touch with them for things.
For sure.
Well, my obstetrician gynecologist is on that list because she is in his network, in his hospital. And
oh God,
when I went to call, my fear is all of these physicians are in my contacts with their cell number, all of their information. So
my favorite birth date, my problem patients.
Yes.
All the things.
So I'm terrified to talk to, call, or have anything to do with any of my physicians when I just want to call their offices. I still have to go through the World Wide Web to find their office. I Google them because I can't go directly from my contacts because it could be their nanny's number. Like all the, hey, buddy, I'm not going to be reachable by call. I left my phone home. Here's my girlfriend's number. Don't tell my wife. And all of a sudden now Stu's wife has it, and I'm like placing these calls.
Oh my God.
So I want to,
first of all, get him Salesforce. But number two, what are you doing? You're constantly calling. Your relationship with healthcare is so interesting to the rest of us across the globe. Nay, here in the States, where healthcare is, we're gonna go with not
a
great.
nightmare. It really is not great. It's a nightmare. Not optimal. Let's say not optimal because it's not good. The wife of whatever coming up with.
We have extraordinary, arguably best world-class care that you kind of can't get unless you play the lotto.
Unavailable
anyway.
to
And
most
win.
people,
Yeah.
right? Unavailable
Okay.
to the Gen Pop.
So you have this shared contact list with his work contacts. They're not his friends.
Correct.
And now you're in a position where you want to lean on that work lever to get yourself some access to this top shelf Tito's level cocktail care. I say go
I'm
for
gonna
it.
stop
And
you
if
there.
you end up with a mistress, what better
Oh yeah.
than the woman who's on the knob that gets you the
Better
painkiller
care.
that you
Yes.
need? Right.
As far as your calendars, we have a family calendar here, and we have family, we have his, we have mine, we have all that stuff. But the issue with the family calendar, no, the kids don't look at it. But when you put something in there and you hit an alert, it reminds them on their phone. It'll pop up and say, hey, by the way, you have grandma's birthday in 2 weeks. Get a present or whatever you do.
Wow.
So that's our way of throwing a reminder. But I find it dangerous to share contacts, at least in our
I agree.
house.
No, I agree. We can't do it because my husband is incapable of
Properly labeling.
interpersonal relationships. I
That's
think
bullshit.
is the way that works. When he gets in the car, he changes all the radio stations. He changes all the seat
I'm sorry,
settings.
he
does it
saves different radio stations in not
on
his
my
car.
key, on my key. We went so far as to have 2 keys to each car. That's how they come now. You just get 2 keys.
Yeah.
And they're programmable keys.
Yes,
so
your seat
when you get
goes
in,
when
it
it
tells
sees you.
Nope, he does it. Whatever key he happens to be holding, because he's usually in a situation where I've lost his key, so he has to use the one
I
key
don't know
that
who
I
to
could
get
find.
mad at first.
No, I mean, I'm trying to paint him with some broad brush. I mean, I am complicit in my own downfall.
Yeah, but
still,
changing
I know
radio
better.
stations in
Thank you.
someone
Super
else's
sickening.
predominantly driven car is that of a
Yep.
sociopath. That is not.
He will update my phone. He will update my iTunes. He will update my services without telling me, just because it's time and the phone says I need this to be updated. So he will agree with the phone.
That's an active
I
service.
no, it's not. No, it's not, because it actively fucks over settings, and I have to do it thoughtfully and manually because I have my shit the way I like it. So keep your mitts off my phone, and if I want to go 6 iterations earlier, he loves to be a needle-ass dick about this, not only because he is fully committed and convinced that what he's doing is right. So he has this righteous technology button where he just presses it and explodes everything in my world. And he's like, well, you deserved it because that's what the apocalypse was important.
I did it to help you. You're welcome.
He's like fucking Thanos with my shit. He's like, yep, I cleared him out and that's what you needed. You had 9 contacts for the same person, so I deleted all but one. I'm like, but you didn't look at them. And some of them had social security numbers and some of them had secret pieces of pie recipes and all the things that I need and I know where they are. So he does all this stuff. But the reason he loves to be such a needle-ass dick about it is because for 10 years I did own and operate quite successfully a custom software company in which I was the CEO of building software. So he's like, so he loves to pull this Seinfeld reference. And you want to be my technology person.
And you want to be
code
my latex
I had
salesman.
multiple developers on staff for me, right? And I would, develop user interface and all this kind of stuff. So I know what it is. I know how to do it, and I don't comply. I'm feeling another reference to Kay on Facebook, and I don't care for it again. Damn it. How is this always... This podcast makes me look so bad all the time. Why do I keep coming back?
Here, let's continue with it. What did your neighbors do? What did your Trump-loving neighbors do that pissed you off?
Well, Trump came here to town, which I was surprised to learn, along with a handful of other very large GOP bigwigs, right? So they came in through the airport, shut down the airport, blah, blah, blah. And I noticed on Facebook, I'm never on social media. Never. And when I went to Costa Rica, I started posting some pictures because I took 2,000 pictures, and I thought, I'll put a few out. Okay. So I've been on it more in the past week than I have.
Right, because people then comment, which
past 3
alerts
months.
you and draws you in. Yeah.
So then the phone thinks, oh, we got her back. So it's constantly sending these little, somebody that you know, somebody down the street, somebody over here, somebody. So I happened to note that our 2 doors down neighbor went to the airport when former President Trump came through, and not only went there in an air of support. This was Saturday. So for those who are not in the States and are not checking the calendar when you're listening to this, on Friday, former President Trump was indicted on 37 counts of federal espionage and other ne'er-do-well hooligans. Batty, bad, no good, bad for you. Very bad day. Saturday, they're at the airport with signs saying witch hunt. And it's very thin on the ground. There weren't very many of them, which I kind of thought was great, that it wasn't a huge welcome party. But they nevertheless went. And I thought, okay, put myself in their shoes. Good for them. They're standing up. They're standing up for their person.
For something they believe in, even though what they believe in is shitty. But
despite it's crystal clear to just about everybody that this is not the person to stand up for. They're still sticking by him. Good
even
for you.
William Barr. Yeah.
So they're there, and they're at the little barricade, and they're with him, literally with him. Head to head, cheek to cheek photos of him signing things. They're holding little tiny American flags that you hold in your hand and you wave back and forth that scale. He goes to sign one of them. They have a video. He goes to sign one of them, and their toddler, he's trying to direct her to hold one edge of the flag to make it taut so he can sign on the American flag, thus desecrating the American flag. But still, this is what he's doing. And she doesn't really get the instruction or whatever, so she's not really doing it. So the mom grabs the thing, and he signs the flag and hands the flag to the toddler, and she looks at him like, who are you? And I don't know if I like this or you. She's very skeptical. I mean, honestly, props to the toddler. She was looking at him like sizing him up, not sure this is a good idea.
Little grossed out, little.
So she was there. So he grabs her arm and takes a Sharpie and writes, hi, with an exclamation point on her arm. And she looks at it and looks at him, and then the video stops. And the parents are going bonkers and excited. And so there's several things about this. Number one, I know you're making the funniest faces, gang. If you could see these,
he
faces.
just defaced a child with a Sharpie. That's assault right there. That's assault.
All right.
That's a pepper.
That's
wrong.
So I witnessed all this as it was posted, and it wasn't getting a lot of traction. It wasn't getting a lot of comments, which, I mean, that maybe tells you something. But I also was taken aback with how exciting a day this must have been for them. Honestly, that was my feeling. I just thought, good for you. I just thought you're so if you got to meet someone that you support that much, and you had such incredible access to this person. I got a letter from Bill Clinton, who I don't like or support, right? But I did some work back in the day promoting a cause or this or that or the other. I sat on a panel. It was local. I had nothing to do with Bill Clinton, but I got an official letter with a seal signed by him in actual ink, and I framed that shit. It's upstairs in the attic, never seen the light of day. But I'm saying when you feel connected to the highest position in our government, I think that's a big deal. So I thought, I don't want to comment on this, but I also don't want to not comment. So I just put something like, what an amazing day, or something like this. And then the neighbor immediately jumps in and she goes, I know, it was an experience of a lifetime. And she fully knows I've hung Biden shit on my house. I hung Hillary shit on my house. She knows we do Halloween candy. There's no problem with anybody, right? And so then I wrote back, I still can't get over the access. And she says, I know, right? I feel kind of gross that I did that. Am I a traitor for saying good for you for having an enjoyable afternoon with, if it was Hitler, that's a terrible, why do we always go to Hitler?
Take it down a notch.
Bad one who's not Hitler. The Unabomber,
Roger
he's
Waters.
dead now.
How about Roger Waters? He's a despicable
all I think
human
of is
being.
The Who. Who's Roger Waters? Tell me. I don't know who that is. I'm
Pink
being honest.
Floyd. You're in the
really Roger Waters. Yeah,
you're in the wheelhouse.
Okay.
He's a flaming anti-Semite, and that's
I thought you were naming someone who was a political ne'er-do-well.
No,
not
just
an
a
actual
regular
rocker.
run-of-the-mill ne'er-do-well.
Oh, and he got into trouble too for
Sure
for
did,
having
but if you had
opinions.
access to somebody who's that talented, and I could see being a little starstruck, but I've worked, living in Manhattan for years, doing the New York thing and I've worked really hard on my ability to go, oh yeah, look, that's famous so-and-so. He must be doing a
For
play
sure.
here or there. Let's
Right.
not make a big deal about it, because then you look like a dick. But if you hear every interview from any celebrity, when somebody says to them, I really appreciate what you do, it's never bad.
Right.
It's never, ever, nobody ever's like, leave me the
Right.
fuck alone. If you are there just to say, big fan, keep going. And I'll do that. Kind of like that guy at the Grateful Dead show when you're just walking around the parking lot, mostly high. The guy who goes by you and says, mushrooms, and keeps going. You go to turn around.
I didn't know that's why people went to Grateful Dead. I thought they were there for the music. Now I get
acid. You turn around, that guy's gone. Like, you missed your opportunity. It's just like a whisper in the back of your head, and they don't want to get caught, but they also want to make a sale, and they know their audience.
Lightning never strikes.
So
twice.
if you walk by a celebrity like that and you're like, big fan, keep going. Pull the mushroom guy, pull the acid guy at the show. But just nicely, the whole yank my kid's arm and write hi on it. That's
there's so
that's
much
assault
of it.
in my book.
The notion of celebrity is such a weird one for me anyway. This thought that we as humans would be fascinated with any one other of us and venerate them for any reason is so weird, and then want to be in their orbit and take their pictures and tell others we saw that one person. It's just like leaves on trees, singling out one of them. It's just weird to me. But I did hear something recently, and it was so fantastic. I've made it a new life mantra. I think I was doing it anyway, so just hearing it was nice. And it is.
I could use a new life mantra. Let's hear it.
I would credit the source if I could remember the source, and it is never leave a compliment unsaid. Isn't that beautiful?
That's always been your mantra. I don't think it's been a mantra. That's always been your practice.
I can't stop myself. So even if I wanted to,
you're
it'd be
compelled
spilling
to
out
it.
of my ears. But I'm saying there's a reason. So it's just so nice to hear it stated as a kind of a dictum, this notion.
What'd you call
Never
me?
leave a compliment. You said it. Never leave a compliment unsaid, because think about it. Why would you hide goodness from someone else?
Never hide
Why
it.
would you withhold a compliment from someone else? There's no reason to keep that to yourself. There's nothing good in doing it. It's only bad. So you have a choice between pure evil and chaotic good. Always go for the good, is what I'm trying to say.
Dear listener, if you've ever been walking anywhere with Amy, she is fully engrossed in a conversation with you, and she's all in. She is adding, she is everything, but also simultaneously, here's mine. Walking in Manhattan, engaging in a conversation, even disagreeing about something, so you know she's all in to make sure her point is heard, and her right arm flails out to the side, grabs the crossed arms of a person walking in the opposite direction that she has spied from a distance, holds her forearm in the middle of her own sentence to me, not when I was speaking and she was ignoring me, when she was speaking and ignoring herself, and grabs this woman and says, your dress is so beautiful. I just had to stop and tell you. And I thought, stop what? Our conversation? Her walking in the middle of the street? So
any logical thought?
So you have always been like that, but I like that you've really put into words and realized it's part of who you are and to embrace it because it is wonderful to do that.
I heard that statement as a command. I heard that statement as a way of living. I heard that statement as this is one way that the world gets better for everyone, always, everywhere. There is no downside to it.
Mandalorian.
And to hear it that simply,
it's Mandalorian. This is the way. This is the way.
So, and it wasn't. That's the thing. So I don't put any effort into doing it. But honestly, I do feel really weird when I do it. So this was also a kind of a great justification because
it happens all the time. You must feel weird a lot.
I do,
okay.
And I can't be stopped. I did it in Costa Rica.
I can't
be stopped. I can't be stopped. It's like you picking those eye boogies off your dog.
I can't be stopped.
It's like,
you're right.
You can't be stopped. And you're sort of like, if it's wrong, I don't want to
be right.
I'm going to continue doing it. I'm going to continue doing it. So, because I know it probably makes people uncomfortable and all the rest of it, but I'm like, you
just said it. Never leave a compliment unsaid.
Never leave a compliment unsaid. And I was even doing it in Costa Rica when I didn't even speak the language. I would point at people and then use pantomime gestures up and down or like shake the bag or something. And then I would do a big smile on my face and they're looking at me like, who is this nut? And also, okay, I guess I did have a good bag today. What's up, fucker? So, I mean,
I feel appreciated.
Really good.
I like it a lot. And we've had friends whose parents are dying now and have lost grandparents or whatever it is. And Stuart's answer to them is always, did you leave anything unsaid? Have you said everything you want to say? And then I, standing behind him, say, positive, everything positive.
Or maybe
don't drag that shit out now. Deathbed, like, abuse. Don't do that. Why don't you just write hi and a Sharpie on their arm before they go? Like, stop.
Come on. If that was Paul McCartney, you wouldn't wash that kid's arm for a week. I'm just saying.
Maybe Paul
It's because it's just tainted by the source. Because the source is
disgusting source. Yeah.
I'm just trying to say for that little girl, I mean, anyway, it was a weird one because I wanted to celebrate something good
that they were happy
about. Even though it was
deplorable.
So then that makes me, and the more I think about it, well, but really what did they, I guess they did do something pretty bad in actively supporting someone who is
a criminal.
I don't know. It's a weird one. That's a gray area for me. My point in all of this is how much judgment should be levied on me for acknowledging that they took joy in this event and being happy for their joy.
You can be happy for other people.
Is that also complicit? Is that a problem? Like, that's the level of...
I wouldn't have said anything. Yeah, I would have let it go.
And I don't want to be a hypocrite. But at the same time, so it was like, again, it's like when somebody else's kid is rude to you and you can't win because if you correct the rudeness, you yourself are being rude. So if you accept the rudeness...
You've been in the South too long. Come up here and sweep some sidewalks and hose some shit down and you will then...
No. No, there's lots of ways to correct rudeness without them knowing and with them knowing, and it's all the same. I'm putting a whole lot of thought into having 2 words on a neighbor's post where her kid got written with Sharpie. So I think we should move on. My point is, Mr. Trump's was here, and about 6 people went out to the airport, and 4 of them were my neighbors and had signs. So there you have it. We'll see what happens.
So he flew in and closed all the roads by you and made traffic disgusting. We have a little traffic disgusting problem here as well, and that is the melting and collapse of I-95.
I cannot be happier that no one died.
Isn't that
crazy? It doesn't even make sense.
It's crazy.
You guys, how big was the stretch? 50 feet?
The drop,
200
the melt?
feet?
Yeah.
Of missing elevated roadway,
highway, right?
Onto, and it was a 4-lane highway at that
least,
point.
Yeah.
Imagine how many cars actively being passed by cars, and it happened to fall when there was no car in it.
Is that even possible? Like, if
it's not.
Play the lottery.
God doesn't love Philadelphia that much. He doesn't. He would have actively gone out of his way to kind of fuck us when you think about it. Really, Philly fans are tough. I'm just saying. Even the guy in the truck didn't die. which I don't understand how your truck blows up and kills a highway and you walk around with your dick out. Like, that's who are you driving
Who's
for?
dead? I-95. Who else? That's it. That's it.
Jesus.
Months. They said it's going to take
I can't come to you. You can't come to me. We can't go from nowhere. Nothing. It's all shut down.
4 to 6 months. And the detour, my husband was telling me, is like a
4 to 6 months.
40. I know. It's going to be 2 years. They just tried to change.
4 to 6 years.
That's more like it.
Yeah. Decades. Right.
Yeah. My husband was trying to figure out a route, and they said the route's going to be 45-minute detour. A 45-minute detour, because the detour has to be able to encompass all of the types of vehicles that were allowed to travel on 95, which I could take little side roads that Waze will tell me to get off, get on.
Right,
but an 18-wheeler can't do
detour,
that. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
So you're adding an hour onto wherever you're going, because a 45-minute detour, once you fill it with cars again, you're fucked. I mean, sorry. So sorry.
Yeah, that feels like Philly. That feels right. That's true to brand.
Too legit.
That's it. That's it.
Too legit to quit. What is an obituary limbo?
Well, I'll tell you, all this stuff with the social media, I feel like everything is touching social media for me this month. And maybe it's also because we've got so many reasons to go on there and share good news and other people's good news.
And see people's signage. And
so do you do this, dear listener and Melissa-ker? Do you do this?
Do you?
Somebody errantly in your circle, someone super extended, you know them on social media so well, but you might pass them in some strange city and never know who they are. Right.
I got those.
Happen to meet at the airport.
Some of you are those for me. I love you.
That's
I know
right.
you. I don't know what the fuck you look like.
I don't fucking know you. Yeah. So that same super close stranger is on social media posting about whatever's happening, yippity yippy yap yap, and somebody cross posts, I can't believe she's gone. Yes, thank you for the instant ears go up, eyes you start scanning, and now I'm in obituary limbo. Because first of all, I have to deduce from this one comment.
Who?
Is that person dead? Is this person that we both are connected to and who happens to be, air quotes, friend of mine? Go to that person's social media feed immediately. There's no mention of, there's no obituary flying here. There's no sad. There's no nothing. The last post is about you having an ice cream with your daughter. So and stretching, picking up a kettlebell. So, okay. So what's happening? Is this I can't believe she's gone. Did she move? Now I have to go down this rabbit hole of checking everybody else's
Who
posts.
has time
to
do that?
To her.
What is...
I can't be stopped. I've been doing it for days.
You
it
still
always
don't know?
happens. No. There's no obituary. I searched this person by name, by multiple cities, by brothers-in-law, sisters-in-law. Those people are going to conferences. They're leading conferences.
Then she's fine.
They're up on stage. Smiling. Are you really smiling 4 days after still can't believe she's gone?
Nope, she's fine.
And then then I saw that within 24 hours, somebody else posted one friend started posting all these memorial posts. Gone too soon. I can't believe it. We're so sad. But no cause of death. And no actual death. Can't you just say, is it, why do I get fascinated by this? But I do. Or when somebody, I got to know, are they dead? How do they die? Where and when do they die? Can you not include that in your, I'm so sad she's gone by a car accident on Memorial Day weekend, accidentally. No drinking involved. Like, is that hard?
Do you remember having a phone in your kitchen with the super long cord because you walked and dragged it around the whole house? And
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
My grandmother's biggest objection in her life was when a child, because grown-ups don't do that, Melissa, when a child answered the phone and said, hello, hi, how are you?
No.
Hi, and started talking. You have to say, hello, so-and-so, so everybody in the house knew who you were talking to. Can you not announce this death along with all of the circumstances that led to it? And yeah, how dare they half post something without even being concerned about the distant people who barely knew her knowing what happened to her?
I deserve
nothing.
more
I mean,
involvement
all of it.
in this person I'm totally uninvolved with.
With this
And she's
person I
gorgeous,
barely
by the
knew.
way.
Well,
I left one of her conferences. I just feel like
I'll say this for you, Amy. I'm sorry
ma'am.
for your loss.
Hey, thanks.
I don't know what loss it is specifically.
Neither do I.
But you don't
Right.
either. So I'm
not the only one. I'm not the only one that does this. I'm not the only one that goes down the obituary rabbit hole. And P.S., shouldn't there be some sort of universal obituary that when there is a person who
you
passes,
click the boxes.
can't we just yellow pages this shit? Isn't there just like a ticker tape, Reuters, somebody, AP, Newswire?
You'd have to
I
know
don't
where
need
she's
all the
buried.
flowery details. I don't need all the flowery details. I just need confirmation. I mean, what do reporters do? How do they find this shit
They
out?
call the family, which is wildly inappropriate. I know it's inappropriate, and it's certainly not what you're going to
No.
do because
Could never be a reporter. No.
Amy doesn't live that life. The life she lives, I think I've shamed her into because right now she has a thin-walled glass with clear water, and that is all. And she is no longer the fruit-toting, Sprite-carrying.
I made the best strawberry lemonade the other day. It had slices of fresh
Can
strawberry
you do that here?
and giant whole slices of fresh lemon and giant whole strawberries in it. And it was they were almost too ripe to keep eating. The strawberries were ridiculous. And they were those monstrously large ones. And I thought, I can't cut you. You're too good.
Do you
You're too
mull
good to be
them?
cut."
Like, do you?
No, they were so ripe. They did it on their own. Just the acidity of the lemonade itself helped them to give the littlest tiny bit of flickers of strawberry all the way throughout. It was so good. And I thought the whole time I was drinking it, fuck you, Melissa. This is delicious and it's pretty too.
I was just about to say, I love it when you put on that voice. Like, we're done recording now. I'm about to go finish myself because you started me with your beverage. Dear listener, thank you so much for turning us on. I hope we turned you on just a little. And answer me now. Was it Amy that did it, describing her drink? Because it worked for me,
Stop
too.
it.
We love you. We appreciate you. Look back in this episode to find out how you can contact us because I'm not going to bore you further. Come back next week. We'll tell you more about everything.
Right. And go sweep your porch.
Bye.
It feels really good when you want to grab it and fondle it.